Hey, how's it going guys? It's Joseph here, and today I'm going to show you how to fix low idle RPM problems. Okay, so I have a Honda Prelude. It's a 98 model, it's a VTIR, and at the moment my revs are at about 400 RPM when I'm idling, and it drops even below that sometimes, and occasionally it stalls. So I want to fix that problem because it's meant to be revving at 800 RPM. It's pretty simple, pretty easy fix, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get it. So this is my Honda Prelude, guys, and this is the product you're going to need. So we got some throttle body cleaner, and pretty much what we're going to do is take off the intake, the whole intake, get access to the inside of the throttle, and then spray this all in there and clean it up. And that's going to be the first part, and the second part is going to do with that idle air control valve, and I'll get to that later on. So the first thing I have to do is get this air intake off. So all I need is to take off this one screw. There's a hose clamp, just unscrew it and it should slide right off. So I took off this clamp, it's loose, so I should just be able to pull this right off. There we go. This had to come off as well. And let's have a look in there. Okay, so this is what the inside of your throttle body looks like. What you're going to want to do is spray all around this area and then wipe it down with the cloth with that throttle body cleaner. And just keep doing that for a while till it's all clean. And aim inside those holes as well. That's where the idle air control valve sucks in from. So I'm just going to spray the inside of this. Open and close your throttle plate while you're doing it. Try to get the top surface, the other side as well. And you'll see a lot of black stuff coming out. What I'm going to do is have these tissues underneath, just so all of that dirt has something to fall onto. Make sure you get it around the whole rim, that's the important part. And now I'm just going to give it a wipe. Don't be too rough with it. And look at that dirt, guys. I'm gonna try to get some more out of it. I'm gonna push the throttle down and then clean the other surface. Just make sure you don't get any of the paper stuck in there, because you don't want that going into your engine. And then after wiping it down, I'm going to give it another spray. Sweet, she's looking a lot cleaner now, guys. So that's done for the first part. What you're going to want to do is put your intake back on and start up. It will take a while at the start because of all of that throttle body cleaner in there. It doesn't like to start up, so it'll take a bit to start up, or you could just wait 30 minutes and it'll evaporate and then it'll start up easily. So if your engine is still running at low RPM after doing this, then the next thing you're going to want to check is this right here. It's the idle air control valve. So I've actually taken all the nuts of this so I can lift it out, and the reason for that is to get access to this idle air control valve. And so this is it right here. There's one 12mm bolt right here and another down here. They're pretty easy to get to, and then there's also these two hoses that need to come off. There's just these two clamps. Take them off, pull the hoses off, and there's one electric cable right here that's easy to get off as well. So what I'm going to do is take this off and clean it from the inside. So this is what controls how much airflow goes into your engine when it's at idle. So yep, let's get to it. So I've previously cleaned up this throttle body and it wasn't that, so that's why I'm going to this. And so the first thing we're going to do is take off this. You just got to press this down and then pull it out. So there we go, that's off. And the next thing we're going to do is get these two bolts out. So there's just 12mm. Put it in. They're not too hard to crack open. There we go. Then you should be able to, they're pretty smooth. You can just hand screw them out. And this one's a bit longer, as you can see. So make sure you remember which one goes on what side. And there we have it, it's out. There's no gasket on there. And so once we can lift it up, we get better access to these clamps. And we just pull them off from right here, and then the piece is out. So I'm just gonna grab these pliers. Pull that one down. And this one also. They should just come off. Give them a bit of a wiggle. And some coolant comes out, so just keep it up high, and you'll need to top up your coolant a bit later, but not much should come out. The second one, gonna come in with this and just twist it. There we go. Once it cracks, it should be easier. So you pull up, and there we go. There's not much coolant coming out of there anymore, it stopped, so should only be a few 100 ml that you need to fill up later. Sweet, so what we're going to do is spray in this hole and this hole. These other two are for coolant, so you don't need to spray in there. Just this one and this one. Shake the can well. Give it a big long spray. You can tell that the color that's coming out is not the color that's going in, it's a lot darker. Shake out all the residue. You can see there's black stuff all along here on the top. Do it in different angles, guys. Get it in there good. So the color of this filter is actually black, but it's meant to be silver. So I'm going to get some tissue and just give it a wipe. not too hard, don't press too hard. As you can see, it's already becoming a bit better. Just keep giving it sprays and then keep cleaning it out. So right now I'm just filling it up till it tops out. And there, as you can see, it's completely full. So at this point, I'm just gonna let it soak for a while. Give it a few minutes to just soak. And then after a minute or two, just shake it a lot, as much as you can. And then tip all of that out. Then I'm going to give it a final spray around this gasket, because I want the gasket to be a clean surface when I apply it, when I put it back on. And I'm just going to give it one last spray. And there we go, it's all cleaned and ready to go back on there. Okay, so now that everything's installed back in place, we've got the 2 bolts on, the electric connector, and the 2 hoses on. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to this bleeder valve right here. So if you look at the engine, it comes down over here. And right there, this thing right here is the bleeder valve for your coolant. So since some coolant leaked out, there's going to be some air in the engine at the moment, so we're going to unscrew this. So I've already loosened it up. It was a 12mm bolt, so just loosen it up a bit, and then we're going to start the engine. And when coolant starts coming out of here, that's when we close it up. So there we go, we're all done. Coolant came out of here. Now we just got to tighten this up properly. And that's my coolant reservoir, so just check if it's low or not. My one's pretty good at the moment, so if it's low, just top it up. Hey, how's it going, guys? So it's the next day and the problem is actually fixed at the moment, so I can show you guys the RPMs. And so if I gave it a rev last time, what would happen was, right then when the needle falls down, it would go all the way down to 2000, but now it stops at 8000 RPM, so that's a good thing. So if I keep doing it, it stops perfect at the right point. Previously it would drop all the way down. So another thing to mention is that straight away after you're done putting everything back together and you test it out, the RPM will keep dropping back to 2000 RPM or as low as it goes. And the reason for that is it's going to be calibrating the idle air control valve. So it takes about a day. Just keep driving normally, and after a day, it's been 24 hours for me, and right now it's perfect. Stops exactly where it's meant to. Yesterday for me, after I was done fixing it, it kept dropping all the way until that point, that needle right there. And so today it's perfect. And yep, thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helped you out, and I'll see you next time.